is the 77 WABC minicast.
Super Bowl 60. Pats, Seahawks come your way Sunday night. I'll be live on Sunday night with Brian Kilmeade again. I think my third time this year, One Nation on Fox News. I'll be on the panel with the lovely Emily Austin. I'll stay late. I think you'll get me and Darryl Johnston once they hand out the Vince Lombardi trophy. But if you're going to talk Super Bowl, you got to talk to this guy. He's the best. I mean this. The best sports guy in the business back at afternoons at WFAN. The Hall of Famer, Craig Carton. Craigie, good morning, pal. How are you?
Oh, yes. Sid Rosenberg. I'm in the and I apologize for my laryngitis, but I was just reminiscing with someone about Giants, Ravens in Tampa, and you and I sharing a hotel room. I'll leave it at that.
No. Well, we could take it one step further because we did have a good time, and there's some stuff in there I don't want to share. But we have to talk about, we watched the game with a former Buffalo Bill great by the name of Fred Smirlis. And
in the Holiday Inn.
Right, the Holiday Inn in like Ybor City or something. Yeah. And I made a wager. I took the Giants. They lost, I believe, 34-7, and I lost a lot of money. And yet, you put this in your book. You go, but Sid, this is the type of guy Sid is. He just lost a ton of money on the Giants. The bill comes, and Sid offered to pay the bill. I didn't have any money, but I offered to pay the bill.
I think WNEW actually covered that day. But I'll never forget, you and I were sitting there because they flew us down to the Thursday and Friday from Radio Row down to that Super Bowl. And you obviously a big Giants fan. And they didn't give us tickets or a media credential. We couldn't go to the game.
Nope.
So we're sitting at the Holiday Inn, maybe half a mile away from the stadium, whatever it was. And Fred Smirlis, legendary Bill's there. And, it was a tough day, from a wagering perspective for sure. And then maybe it's like a $240 bill. And I'm like, Smirlis has this one. And Sid goes, nah, I've already lost enough. What's another $240?
That's a true story. The Giants were so bad that day. Kerry Collins, God bless him.
We knew that game was a wrap 5 minutes in.
Yeah, it was over. Well, remember, Trent Dilfer started the game by throwing a touchdown pass, and not only did the Ravens score in the air, which was weird because that year Jamal Lewis threw damage on offense, but Jason Sehorn, the great Giant defensive, his pants fell down, Craig. Remember that?
I think he pulled him down after he got beat by 10 yards is what I think happened. But yes, I do remember that.
So embarrassing. Anyway, we got a big game coming up this Sunday, and I've said this to a bunch of guests this week. We've had on everybody from Stephen A. to your friend Joe Beningo, a whole bunch of folks, and told them the same thing. Look, I understand the Sam Darnold story is a great story. I'm not a Jet fan. You are, Craig. You're one of the biggest Jet fans I know. What an amazing, thrown to the scrap heap after the Jets and the Niners and the Panthers. Has the great year last year, but loses the two big games, the last regular season game and the playoff game. And here he is in the Super Bowl before Josh Allen. It's an amazing story. I get it. And Drake May, look, second season, maybe Vrabel and May are the next Belichick and Brady up there. I don't know. But the truth is, outside the two things I just mentioned, I'm not exactly sauced for this game on Sunday night.
Yeah, look, I think you're preaching to the choir a little bit on that. Like, I think it's the Super Bowl, so it's great. Since I don't gamble anymore, you don't gamble anymore. We kind of have that cliche. I just hope we get a great game kind of thing, so I'm entertained. Right. You can make the argument that from a quarterback perspective, this is a Mount Rushmore game of the two of the most average quarterbacks to play in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You can certainly go back to like Kerry Collins, Brad Johnson, Rich Gannon, et cetera. But this doesn't make you moist when you talk about the quarterback matchups. I think Drake May, and I know he came in second to the MVP to Matt Stafford last night. I think he's an average quarterback. I think the Patriots are an average team. If you go back and look at their regular season, they have, 1 or 2 wins against teams with a winning record. If you look at a playoff run, they played against a Chargers team with no offensive line. They played against C.J. Stroud, the worst game any pros ever had, with no wide receiver, no tight end. And then, of course, you play against a backup quarterback in Denver and barely win that game. I think Seattle's a better team. I think Sam Darnold's playing better quarterback. And the only thing that bothers me when people talk about Sam Darnold now is how they make it like, another example of how incompetent the Jets are. And I'm like, we got to stop with that crap. Sam Darnold went to Carolina after he played for the Jets. He failed miserably. No one says it's a Carolina story. He went to San Francisco. He never played. No one says, San Francisco lost out on Sam Darnold. He went to Minnesota, won 14 games. obviously had the two bad games to end the season, the Week 18 and the playoff game against the Rams. But no one was like, oh, the Vikings. It's always about my Jets. It's always the Jets.
And you know what's funny about the Jets?
So incompetent. The Jets
right,
but blah, blah,
but here's a true story about your Jets. I'm going to defend them for a second because this is what I was told. You know more about this team than I do, and you're in sports. I was told that the coach at the time, Robert Saleh, who is now the coach of the Tennessee Titans, I was told that Robert wanted to keep Sam Darnold.
Yes, that's true. He did. And that's when they decided after they traded him that they drafted Zach Wilson. But as the story goes, Robert Saleh and to a lesser extent Joe Douglas, the GM at the time, had conversations about maybe we just haven't had the right coaches around Sam Darnold, and let's give the kid a shot because he's got the size, he's got the arm, blah, blah, blah. But I think once Sam Darnold publicly said, I'm seeing ghosts, is what he said, the Jet fan base was like, well, then get your Casper ass out of here because we don't need a quarterback that sees ghosts.
That didn't work well for him, or Eric Adams, for that matter. Let me get to the locals quickly before you run. I enjoy watching you and Chris. Very good. He's very good with you. He plays well off you. He really does. And, you're talking about the Giants bringing in Matt Nagy. And, I'm a big Giant fan, and I understand that Monken wanted a coach, so he left Harbaugh, went to Cleveland. But how do I get excited about a guy that ran a dreadful offense? I know they were all hurt at wide receiver, and Kelsey's not the same, and blah, blah, blah. But that Chiefs offense last year was dreadful. Why should I be excited about Matt Nagy?
Yeah, I don't think you should be. I think he's competent, but I'm with you on that. I think Giants fans are still drinking the Harbaugh Kool-Aid, so whatever he does, they're going to go along with until, it goes south on him. But Matt Nagy's a competent coach, no doubt. Matt Nagy was over 500 in Chicago with bad quarterback play, but I think if you take anyone and put them on the sideline next to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, that guy all of a sudden becomes like a Mensa member of football. Right. And, it's just not the case. So Is he competent? Yes. Is it an upgrade? Probably. But I'm not walking around town, aroused because the New York Giants got Matt Nagy. I think he's good, but I'll tell you something else. You guys have all bought into the notion that this kid's going to be the next greatest quarterback in football, and he's played little less than a full year of football in the NFL. And while he looks like he's got all the tools, he certainly has the personality for New York. Let's slow our roll a little bit. The Jackson Dart's the second coming of Dan Marino.
I love the kid. I'm not going to lie. I love him.
I'm saying, but I am a Giants fan. You are.
I love him.
You guys got all the marbles in one basket.
Listen,
I noticed something about you. I got to bring this up because I know Melania Trump's coming up.
Yeah.
Most successful documentary in the last 10 years, despite the reviews on it. So great for her and great for President Trump. But I've noticed something about you.
Okay.
And it's concerning to me as a friend.
Oh my God.
And I just heard in the promo you played right there before I came on.
Okay.
Do you recognize that you now pronounce your L in the word love like Donald Trump? Have you picked up on that?
I have not picked up on that, but you're about
have Lou Rackett and listen to how you say the word love. Yeah. And I'm saying to myself, this man loves President Trump so much, he's starting to talk like him.
Well, you are the fifth person, I'm not exaggerating, Craig Carton, the fifth person to tell me that when you say love like that. And then, you're not going to believe this, maybe you will, but Lou Ruffino could attest to this. Lou talked to Craig. As I'm talking on the radio show, you can't see me, of course, we're not simulcasted, but the hand motion that Trump does, he kind of brings them apart and brings them together, that whole thing. I do that. No, how often would you say that I do the President Trump hand motion for Craig Carton during an average show?
A lot. I couldn't count.
That's funny.
I want to be him so badly.
It sounds like it, I'll tell you. And I tell you, the more I listen to you guys, the bigger fan of Noam I become. I think he needs his own hour. I think you need like a Noam like a pregame hour leading into you. I apologize for not knowing your background and your career, but I think you're the true star of this show.
Wow!
Oh wow!
How about that? How about
because
that?
Here's what I noticed. When you do that 45-minute opening segment that you're very proud of, and we all know that 25 minutes is just talking about yourself and where you had dinner last night, I noticed that you always say, hey, Noam, isn't that right?
I probably say that about 5 times in that first segment every day. You are really observant, Craig. You are sharp as a tack.